Alright, boys, today I'm going to be talking about the Attack on Titan banner and the units, and I'm going to give you some information that might help you with your decision of if you want to summon or not. Now, the decision up to you. There's not a should you summon video, this is just things you should know before summoning video, right? In case you haven't been keeping up, right? Because the units got buffed, right? There's some misinformation going around apparently that they got buffed like a lot. Or that the best meant anything. I'm going to talk about that. But I'm going to talk about the units, yes, and I'm going to talk about the banner and everything. Now, if you want a personal recommendation, I do think you guys are all capable of making a decision yourself if you want to summon or not. It's your account, it's your gems, right? Your loss, your win, whatever. The Attack on Titan units themselves, none of them are very special. None of them are like crazy good. None of them do anything like super insane. Levi, maybe, potentially. I'll get into that, obviously. But none of them are like, oh my god, you need them, right? They're not like Rimuru, right? They're not like, I'd argue now Fumi and Philo, right? They're not like Echidna and Reinhardt. They're not on that tier. They're far, far below them. They're not like Kyo on release, right? Or like Amelia on release. They're like none of them, okay? They're pretty trash, high key. But we'll go. Again, I'll talk about that, right? I might make you feel better about summoning them too. Now, me personally, I wouldn't summon them. If I was a free to play and I was trying to make my account as good as possible, so I'm ready for any PvP meta, I'm ready for the next demonic beast battle, I'm ready to have the good units leveled up, right? They bring tower back at some point in a harder way. I'm ready for that too. I wouldn't summon this because they don't offer you anything in that sense, right? Now, if you're an Attack on Titan fan, or you're a whale, in which case you're summoned anyway. If you're an Attack on Titan fan and you really like Attack on Titan, right? They nailed the units on like the flavor aspect. I think like Eren, like his single target, this one from like the table scene, I suppose, it's okay. That one looks kind of funky, but it's funny, right? So it's fine. This one, he says Tatakai in Ag. I mean, you can't make it better than this. And his ultimate looks pretty cool too. Like the full thing is actually really cool, right? He uses the Warhammer Titan, he impales the enemies, which was a bit longer, more like detailed, but like it's fine. Flavor-wise, really cool. His art also is sick. Like his art is so sick. This is so good. I think this is so insanely good. Same with Levi. Levi's animation, very satisfying, very cool, very Levi-like. His art, I mean, I don't know, it's whatever. I mean, I don't really care about his art. I don't really care about like Levi coming back anyway. I wish it was Armin. I feel like for something that's such a limited thing, it'll never come back. It's not like we can get like an Armin in the future now. Like we'll have to wait like 2 years maybe to get an Armin, right? If they even do a third rerun. But like that's why it's sad. But like I mean, he's cool. He's cool, right? It's fine. So. First, let's talk about the buffs. Now, if you've been watching the videos the past few days, like ever since the unit came out, you probably realized neither of them do any damage. Levi is pretty good defensively, Adam not so much. He's okay though. He heals and everything, right? He has his own like passive stuff. They both have some utility to offer. It's not the craziest, but it's not like they don't do anything, right? They do something. Right, like Eden's 30% crit chance increase for humans on single targets. It's okay, right? You notice it if you use them, right? Like, oh, my Espen is critting a bit more, right? Oh, my Bond is critting on his Pierce card, right? Like, you notice it, right? You notice it. Especially now, they change it so Giants also, like, are in this Holy Relic, which should have been a day one thing. I don't know why it wasn't. So now you Queen Diane maybe crit, you know? That's cool. Levi didn't get buffed. So like, so he got 30% crit chance, and Giants now count for his Holy Relic too, so they get buffed too, right? They get 30% crit chance as well. Cool buff, right? We'll make him very, very slightly better, but like, everything we can get matters, right? And the other thing they buffed is their ultimates, which only really matters when you have them 6-6, so it's not really something I want to talk about, because 99% of you won't have them 6-6, and if you are someone that goes to 6-6 them, you would have 6-6 them regardless, so there's no point talking about that either, right? If you're a whale that 6-6 them, you're 6-6 in them regardless of what I'm saying. So, yeah, how good are they after the buffs? Levi's practically the same thing. I really like this guy. I like his kit, right? A lot of kits I like obviously aren't good enough in rank cross nowadays. Units are way too broken, have way too much ignorance. It's not about interacting with your opponent, right? And playing around what they have. It's about how ignorant can you be to what your opponent has, right? That's what the meta is right now. So I don't think he is he's necessarily cut out for that. But if the meta actually, ever becomes more interactive and like a little bit slower, then I can see this guy being really good. Now he's not so bad as you can run him. You can, if you run Bond Diane, Green Zelda's backline, and any human, that team will be good. Okay, Diane's broken. Bond's broken. Green's Outage backline just gives you so many basic stats, and you get the passive capped out immediately, so it's fine, right? You run Levi, you do two skills. You have his max crit chance, which he needs, and then you have all the basic stats and everything. He'll do okay damage. Bond will carry anyway. Diane's broken. Like you'll be fine. You can win with those teams. You can have fun with those teams. Levi has some utility as well, like he removes buffs. Now, right now, it's really just Demon King that has the buffs. To a point where you can consistently remove them and it actually matters like turn 1, which it's kind of nice. But that's really it, right? Outside that, you won't really see it too much. You'll see it against like Tyr, right? He'll remove his buff at the start, and Tyr's crit resistance gets reduced by 50%. And then you're like Roxy or like someone can kill him easier, right? It's not bad. The Levi is fine, right? I don't think they should make collab units necessarily as like meta breaking like they have with like some of them before, right? I feel like these are okay. They're better than most units we got in the first half of the year, right? I'd say they're probably in PvP on the same level as like, I actually can't think. Never mind. Honestly, as like Rimuru, like I feel like if I was to use Rimuru on a tier team, I'd probably feel the same way about Rimuru as I feel about Levi on a human team, probably, right? So if you're still using Rimuru on a tier team or like a unknown team and you have fun, you probably have fun with Levi too. Eden though, very boring kit. It's just a single target that is printed at the stick on an SR unit, and then his other single target is sort of interesting. It does double damage to debuffed enemies, and then it has double crit damage as well. It's okay. I mean, if you fight a red unit, I'll tell you this much. If you fight a tier, because that's practically the only red unit. Oh, and Diane, I guess. But I haven't really, like... I faced one Diane with Eden, and I didn't really notice it. But if you find a tier, Eden will one-shot him. I promise you. If the meta right now, like the people you go up against, is just constantly tier, maybe try using Eden if you have him, right? If you summon for him, and you'll kill them easy. Right? There's no question about that. Like, that guy deletes tiers. Like, oh my god, he deletes tiers. Now, let's talk about the older characters real quick as well. Mikasa's worthless. Even fully, like, I mean, like they really didn't do anything with her, right? Her Holy Relic's useless, and then even if you buff her, like, even if she's, like, fully stacked and everything, she doesn't really do good damage. She can't really tank well. She, like, the way she is, when her passive is fully built up, which is very quick now, by the way, because only 5 hits, so if they do 2 AoEs, that's 4. That what she has when she's fully built up is what she should have been at base. I'm not even kidding. And then she should have had the passive. Like, it's crazy how weak she is, right? Crazy how weak she is. Now, Green Aaron's also is completely worthless. He's worse than Mikasa even. Like, I've tried to make this guy work because I really like the fact he is a transforming character. I think they're pretty fun. They're cool. He is just, like, absolutely just horrendous garbage. Like, he is so worthless. It's insane. SR, I mean, he didn't even get buffed. He just got the Holy Relic. His stats are still the same. Unfortunately, he's not really him either. Now, this Levi, if you run him on that team I told you, with like Bond, Diane, Green Zeldas, and any human, he will perform pretty well. And he's really fun to use, right? Guaranteed crits, he's fun to use. Watch my video where I was in VC with Amazing Deoxys, and we use them. Very fun unit, right? If you have him from back in the day, bro, get his Holy Relic, give him UR gear. He is really fun to use. Now, one thing I also want to mention is, when I use these characters, I use them from a very privileged standpoint. I've almost got 50 million bucks, you see. I'm on the 6th constellation, right? I finished the 5th one. I'm on the 6th constellation. And, I have his outfits because I can spend money, right? Okay, I want to say like I can spend money. I spend money in the game, so I have his outfits, right? Which a lot of people don't spend money in the game for good reason. You shouldn't. Really, you shouldn't. No, outfits are the biggest scam in this game, and I hate the way they're priced. Don't buy them, right? So you guys won't have the outfits. You guys probably won't have the box you see, the constellation. These units will perform a lot worse, like tremendously worse, especially about outfits. Like, outfits make like, such a big difference. Unfortunately, they make such a big difference, right? But outside of that, if you have like Bond built up, right, like by a lot, then and the end, right, and you have Green Zeldas, which I assume most people have, you'll have fun with this character. He's really fun to use. The rest, not so much. Let's go back to Levi and Eden, right? They got buffed, their ultimates got buffed, okay? Levi's ultimate was kind of like, it was okay before, right? It would kill, it would kill if you had enough ult investment. Eden's would not kill. At 6/6 it just wouldn't kill. He wouldn't crit, and then even if he crit, the multiplier was so low, it sometimes wouldn't kill. Which is not good for 6/6, right? So they buffed it. It guaranteed field wipes now pretty much. It's okay. I mean, if you're not summoning for 6/6 Eden to field wipe, because if you're summoning for 6/6 Eden to field wipe, you'd more than likely have a bond at 6/6, and that ultimate will be a lot more reliable, and will definitely kill every single time. So there's no reason for you to ult rush with Eden. But and even on Giants, like the end ultimate is just like she gets like 3 hits in and boom, she's doing 5 million ultimate. Like you're not gonna summon for him to be your like field wiper, right? But he is cool, and I feel like Eden in the future will just be fun to have when they actually remember that they can make giants. Oh wait, I haven't sorted to this. When they can remember they can make giants, I feel like Eden will actually be fun. Which right now he's not very fun to use. Type advantage stuff doesn't really matter. If you face dark units and light units all the time, it's practically non-existent, right? Like the meta is just green, light, dark right now, right? And then maybe a blue unit, right? Like if you face demons, it's maybe blue unit, and then you have Tyr, who's red, and I guess Queen the end too, right? I guess you have all cards represented, but it's not cards really matter that much. Like people don't really care about their colors, so Eden would be okay if you face against a lot of red people, which right now isn't the case. Again, Tyr though, I promise you, if you struggle with Tyr and your teams like they're not like on a level where they can beat Tyr consistently, and you run humans, bro, this Eden might just do it, right? Replace a last on your team with this Eden, and he might just do it. He might just ka-chow everyone, right? Now the Levi, I feel like there's a very fun team that you can run with him that actually works, and it's you run Levi, Ban, and Eller Escanor, and then you have Green Arthur backline, the Excalibur one, and you have more health, you have good crit defense, he's immune to debuffs, he has more crit defense, right? You have Red Tarmio like Escanor, so he's more tanky, Ban lowers attack rate stats and everything. It's really fun. That team is really fun, right? And it's very tanky too. It's really fun to use. It's really fun to use. So if you want to use Levi like that team will work, but none of these units, like they're not good, right? I'm more so like trying my best to talk good about them because I like Levi's kit. That's really it. Eden I don't like, but in some circumstances, some like nitpick niche circumstances, he can look really good. But for the most part, he won't. And they don't really work in any PvE content, right? Like you're not gonna use Levi for Belmoth. You're not gonna use either of them for any Demonic Beast battle. You could, if you just run one of them, you can probably use them for some Demonic Beast battle, right? Bird, Deer, you can like beat with your eyes closed now if you have like 2-3 good units on the team. But like none of them are special. Like if you think that someone's meta breaking, if you're hoping the buffs actually change anything about them, no. Eden will still do 6k on his like single target if it's against a light unit or a dark unit. And it is what it is, right? If you're Attack on Titan fan though, these units are great. Like the flavor of the units is really good. But yeah, Eden will unfortunately not do you any justice. If I go to this video really quickly.
All right,
yeah, that's me and amazing, yes sir. All right, I'm facing an Eden here, right, in this video, which you can't see. Okay. Like, look at this. Like, Eden, I'm gonna cover myself. Funnier. Look at Eden, right? You'd think it's a rank 2, right? He'd kill here, right? He doesn't. He does 27k. And this is like something that you'll consistently experience with him when you use them. If I go to like this point now, oh, you want to see Eden's ultimate? Oh, actually, I think I kill him here, unfortunately. Maybe I don't. I don't. Okay, so we get to see his ultimate, alright? Let's see, right? This is before buffs. This is before it was guaranteed crit. Boom. Do you want to see how much health I had before, just in case you weren't sure? I had this much health before. I have this much health after. It's not real ultimate. He's supposed to have 20% more attack rate stats against this guy. And his crew resistance is... Wait, is it Lauren? No, it's Green Zodius, right? But yeah, anyway, he's not good. He's just not good. Like there's so many people coping that he's good, right? That haven't used him, or haven't like faced him, and he 90% of the time he's just disappointing to use, and he's just annoying to use, and he's bad. But when you make like, I could make a video where I only cut to moments of him having type advantage, having a rank 1 setup, like both his cards, against a red unit. They don't have dodge food, they don't have any defensive buffs going on, they don't have any like NANASHI background or anything, they have nothing. And I could make this guy look really good, right? So you can make him look really good. Do you want to though? No, it's gonna be so hard, and you're gonna lose all your matches, right? Like the fact I saw Devo in Champion and Masters, sorry, when I know this guy tends to go to Challenger for the coins, right? Which, by the way, I need to start doing again. I need to just go to Challenger so I control teams. By the way, there's the teams I'm in. I really like this team. This team is really fun to use. Really fun to use. But yeah, Attack on Titan collab overall, huge L, I think, unit-wise. Old units didn't really get buffed, except Levi is like kind of fun now. These units are just disappointments, right? This Levi, I feel like he just needs a bit more. Like he just needs a bit more, and he's good, right? I don't know what he needs a bit more of. I really don't know, but he needs it. He needs that bit more, right? Maybe make this 200%, but it shouldn't be, because like on paper this card looks broken. You look at his stats too, which he has when he does this card, and it's broken. In fact, broken, right? And his ultimate actually does kill. It kills like 3/6 already. Like it's strong, right? He didn't need to get he didn't need to have his ult buffed. But regardless, yeah, that's it really. I mean, should you summon? Up to you. Watch some more showcases if you aren't sure if they're worth your gems. If you're an Attack on Titan fan though, they definitely are worth your gems. Right? If you're an Attack on Titan fan, or you're a collector, or you want box CC, go ahead. Right? The next unit is gonna be Elaine. Do you care about the Elaine? No? Go ahead, summon on this, right? Although I could tell you guys right now, very likely we get LR Blue Skinny King or Small Wing King with that Elaine update. I am more so thinking it's Skinny King because his passive includes fairies, whereas Small Wing King doesn't really care about fairies. Like, he just wants people that can debuff. And I know her relic does shock stuff, but the old Elaine doesn't have shock and she has that relic. I feel like that relic was just kind of like they did it for no reason. She should have just been part of the Elaine's passive. But yeah, anyway, that's gonna be it from me, boys. Good job.